but today we're going to talk about swag. I know that it is something that you all want to do. You want to order swag, you want to get some cool things for your organizations on campus, but sometimes you don't know how, or how do I go about designing something? Well, we're going to try to take the guesswork out of that for you all today. So we have some awesome guest speakers. We have our licensing director for TCU's campus, Deanna, and I'll have her take it away in just a little bit. And we also have two folks, Joe Brown and Sophie King, who are representing at HF Custom Solutions, which is one of our TCU approved vendors. And as a reminder, you all have to use TCU approved vendors when you're ordering swag. You can't use your cousin's mom's boyfriend that has a screen printing machine that's going to give it to you for cheap. And the reason why is we really do protect our brand. So on that, I'm going to pass it over to Deanna to talk about how our TC brand is so amazing and some things about that.
Yeah, thank you. I am Deanna Cardillo, and I am the licensing director at TCU. And I've created a really quick PowerPoint if I can figure out how to share that. Share screen. All right, so can y'all see that?
Perfect.
Okay, so I'll just run through quickly. So I kind of want to just explain to you what a trademark is and why we have branding and licensing so that you understand kind of the guardrails around ordering swag. As you can see here, these are some of our trademarks, and our trademarks are just things that can be a word, a phrase, a symbol, a design, anything that identifies goods from one party to another. So you see our logos here. A lot of times people don't realize that verbiage is also a trademark. So if you're just using the name of the university, that still is considered part of our brand. So we have licensing on campus to manage all of those trademarks, and that can be for things both at retail or if it's something being distributed internally or externally, product that you're ordering. And I know that's what we're here to talk about today, so we'll talk about swag and internal orders. If there's one thing that you take away from this conversation, it's what Dee Dee already said: use an approved vendor. And you'll hear from one of our approved vendors here in just a few minutes. So why is branding so important? It's because we want to be consistent in our marks. So if you can see the marks on the screen, there's no words or phrases or anything describing what those brands are, but you immediately look at that mark and you know, oh, that's Starbucks, that's Nike, that's McDonald's, Apple. And we want TCU to be the same way. So when you look at something and you see our trademarks, everybody knows, yeah, that's TCU, the Horned Frogs in Fort Worth. And then we also have branding and licensing to ensure that we're protecting the university and you. We want to make sure that we're consistent with all of our marks, but these licensees also provide all of us a way to present TCU and protect the university. Our licensees have insurance, so if anything happens with any of the products that you're ordering, we're covered. If you go out and use some license or some vendor that's not approved through TCU, say you order t-shirts and something crazy happens, the dye that they use to print TCU on those t-shirts makes everybody really sick and get a really bad rash. Now TCU might be liable for those t-shirts because it says TCU on there. But if you use a licensed vendor, they're going to have insurance and we're going to be protected from something crazy like that happening. They know our brand standards. They know what is appropriate to use on all of your swag. They have been through a quality control process, so we know that they're going to be offering you good products, not something that's just going to fall apart after one day of use. And we know that they can offer you a large selection of products. So if you ever have any problem finding certain products that you want, maybe something really unique, just let me know and we'll see if we can find a vendor that has that product for you. So TCU does have an entire document on brand standards, and you can see that at brand.tcu.edu. I put this slide together just so you can see a few examples of kind of the do's and don'ts of using the Arch TCU logo. just so you understand how brand standards works. But like I said, if you need more information, you can go onto the website and see more specific information. I also put together some good examples because I get a lot of questions on what can and cannot be done. The first one, the sweatshirt, just has the words Texas Christian University. That's a great way to include TCU branding on your swag. The t-shirt, TCU Chem Club, I think this is a really important thing to take note of. A lot of times we can get a little more creative with our designs if we just use TCU as text as opposed to that Arch TCU logo, because you can use different colors, you can use fonts, you can add different designs, and that gives you a little more creativity in promoting your own club. And then the third option is the hat, and that just shows how they use TCU, our main TCU brand, on the front, and then they called out their club on the back. So a couple different ways that you can incorporate some of our branding into your swag, but still follow all of our brand standards. But the big thing I know that everyone has questions about is the order process, and we try to keep that as simple as possible for you. So you choose your vendor, and you can see that approved list online. It's at brand.tcu.edu under licensing and then campus use. And we've got a full spreadsheet that gets updated generally every semester, and will show you which licensees you can use and the different products they offer. You can work with them to develop your design. Maybe you already know exactly what you want on your swag, but if not, many of these licensees offer somebody to help you kind of bring your design to life. That vendor will then submit the artwork to TCU for approval. So you don't have to worry about getting that approval. The vendor will take care of that. If there are any things that need to be changed, I will actually work with the vendor, communicate those changes, and then get it back to you as soon as possible. And then the vendor ships the product to you. And then finally, here is my contact information. I want to be a resource to everyone on this campus, whether it's Nike or it's the chess club or it's a fraternity or sorority. I work with everyone on campus to promote our TCU brand and to make sure that everything that you are ordering follows the correct rules. And so I just want to be here to help you. I don't know if anybody has any questions, but if not, feel free to email me or call me, or I guess right now our office is closed due to COVID rules, but once that opens up, I welcome people to visit me in the office as well.
Do y'all have any questions for Deanna? And one thing I'll say is, while y'all are thinking of those questions, if you have some, is, it is not TCU trying to say, no, you can't do certain things from a licensing perspective. We want to walk along with you on that journey, and we want to make sure that it is in the right way. And because it could be the case that if you're walking around on campus with something that's not been approved, that we could say, hey, you need to get a new t-shirt or hat or whatever that swag item may be. And so we want to be able to save you some money there, because that might have happened in the past a few times, right, Deanna?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the thing. We certainly don't want to hinder anyone's creativity. We want you to be able to promote your group in the best light, but we also just want to protect both the university and your individual group and make sure that everything is representing the university correctly.
Awesome. So it's not no, it's yes, but how can we do it?
Yes, I always try to say, I'm not going to say no, but let's try to work together to make this fit into our brand standards.
Awesome. Okay, well, and I think I've said this in the president training video, the list that is on there is about 50 vendors. And so I know sometimes that can be a little overwhelming. So we're going to work with Deanna over this summer to cull that list down to be able to have a list on the Student Org's website. That's ones that we use quite a bit for like t-shirts and just like the normal org stuff, so to make it a little bit easier for you. But one of those vendors we have today, HF Custom Solutions. And I do have to shout out that one of them is my former student. So I guess he's still hanging around. So we have Joe Brown and we have Sophie King. So I'll just turn it over to you all. And if you don't mind just kind of doing your introductions and tell us, they have some really neat TCU connections as well. They might have been in y'all's position a few years ago or a little bit longer.
A little bit longer, I'd say. For me, not for Sophie, but all right. So Joe Brown, and so I'm one of the owners of HF Custom Solutions, and I'm a 2008 graduate, and started my company in 2012 timeframe, and we were originally located on Bluebonnet Circle. We've had an office there for many years, and we just recently moved a bit further down, kind of across the railroad tracks near University. We've got a bigger warehouse space there, so it's really nice. Welcome to come over anytime you want, and get ideas and walk around the showroom. We've got a lot of space for that now. Just all you have to do is just let us know, and we can have someone show you around to give us a heads up that you're coming by. But like Dee said, I graduated 2008. I was in the Neely Leadership Program, and I was also a student athlete on campus. And so when I started my company, I really focused on TCU. And what we do is we do logo merchandise, so promotional items, swag items. We work with a large portion of campus. And there's a good possibility if you've gone to an athletics event, whether that's a volleyball game or basketball or football, or, if you've gotten a polo from the Neely School, or you've gotten a pin from the College of Communication, there's a good chance that we've done those. So we're all across campus, and we work with a lot of different clubs and organizations. And we've done that for many, many years now. I've been the one that's primarily responsible for that. And so we, this past year, brought on Sophie King, and Sophie happens to be also a TCU alum, class of 2020. So way more recent than me. And I was telling Dee before this started, I've known Sophie since she was in like the 3rd grade, and have been friends for a long time. And so she came on board with us her senior year to work with our clubs and organizations. She has a passion for that part of campus, as she was in several of them and a president of one of them. So she was a perfect fit for us while she was on campus, and then she's been a perfect transition for us now. So that's why she's on the call today, is because she'll be our point of contact for anything that we do with a lot of the clubs and organizations on campus, and she's a great resource for you, and she's recently been in your shoes. So I'll let Sophie introduce herself, tell you a little bit about her background, and then we'll jump into some more of the details.
Yeah, so like Joe said, my name's Sophie King. I graduated in 2020, and I held a lot of different positions on campus. So everything from Greek life, to I worked in the rec, I worked in the chancellor's office, I worked in the alumni office. I was the president of Student Foundation at my senior year. So I've definitely held the role that y'all are in right now. And I understand it can be kind of stressful. But I also think that gives me kind of a perspective when I'm working with students, to know where you're coming from. So it helps because, one, I know the brand. I know exactly what we can and can't do. And I can tell you that from the minute you send me something. And then also I understand the struggles of being a president of a student organization. So I can kind of help walk you through those things. If you're having issues with anything, help you find the best price so it's in your budget and get you exactly what you need. So right now I work with a ton of club sports on campus, some smaller student organizations, Greek life, a lot of different kind of areas of student organizations. So we can definitely help y'all out with anything you need.
Perfect. Good. So what I figured we'd do is talk a little bit about our process and kind of how we work through a typical order, questions we ask, things, just some good things to think about as you're looking to order promotional items. I'm just going to share my screen real quick and show you how you can sign up on our website for our signature collection, but basically it's basically how you sign up for a username and password on our website that will allow you to look at the best products that we offer from our best suppliers. So, it's a great resource if you don't know what you're looking for and you just kind of need some place to start. So I'll tell you a little bit about that and walk you through that process. And then talk a little bit just about approvals. Deanna touched on a lot of my typical talking points, because that's what she's good at in her job. But I'll reiterate some of those from our end, and then we'll take a couple questions and hopefully answer anything that's left outstanding. So process wise, so a lot of student organizations will come to us. Typically it's apparel related stuff is kind of how we start. You're looking for comfort color shirts or, nice dad hats or whatever the buzzword is.
Graduation stoles, all that stuff.
Yeah. Graduation stoles, like whatever it is that you're looking for. So they come with, those are the kind of the big items that we do. So I'll talk through those first. So things to keep in mind is, so when you have screen printing, there's a process to setting up the screen printing machine. And so the more colors you have, the more the costs go up. Without trying to get too much into the weeds, but you guys are all very smart people. So I'm going to give you a big, broad overview on it. So when you have a t-shirt, you have screens that need to be set up per color that you're ordering on that shirt. So those are fixed costs. No matter if you order one shirt or you order 100 shirts, you're going to have those fixed screen charges. So if you're going to order a shirt and you only want 10 shirts, but you're going to have 10 different colors on it, it's going to be a really expensive shirt. Now, if you're going to order that same 10 colors, but you're going to order 500 shirts, all of a sudden those 10 screen charges get spread out over 500 shirts. And so the shirt price is less expensive. But if you're only going to do 10 shirts, then you're going to have 10 screen charges that have to be spread out over 10 shirts. And that's just, it makes it more expensive. So it's really important on our end to understand the quantity of shirt that you're ordering, the imprint locations. So if you order something and even if it's a white imprint, but you order a white imprint on the front and then both sleeves and in the back, those are all new locations. So you have new screens for each one of those locations. So all that to say is screen printing is kind of complicated and there's a lot that goes into it. It's the most complicated of all the different promotional products. So it's just really important to understand, you have to have a basic guess at how many you're going to order in order to price something out. I think the hardest part is if you're trying to gather orders from your organization and you don't quite know how many people are going to say yes to a t-shirt. So it could be 10, it could be 100, but you have to give them a price. Usually we opt for giving the higher price at that point, because, if only 10 people order, then it puts both of us in a bad spot. So just things to keep in mind. Embroidery is totally different. So embroidery is not based on colors. It's more based on size. So the number of stitches that go into it. So if you wanted to put a giant eagle on the back of a jean jacket, that is going to be really expensive, a lot of stitches. If you want to put TCU on the left chest of a polo shirt, that's not going to be as expensive. You can do one of those. You can do 5 of those. It's all going to be the same price. So really the reality is like a dad hat or something like that, a hat with embroidery or a polo with embroidery or jacket. If you only think you're going to order 3 or 4 items, that's a better route to go than a t-shirt with 10 colors on it. So I hope I didn't get too much into the weeds on that stuff. Those are a lot of the items that organizations typically order. And there's some nuance to those types of things that we've got to know up front. So you'll see us ask those questions. Those are the first questions that we ask. The nice thing about screen printing embroidery is that we can get all the name brands. So if you want a Patagonia, if you want a North Face, if you want a Comfort Colors, if you want any of those things, we have access to all of those, and typically really good access. So like if you needed them quickly, then we could turn around t-shirts or hats or whatever in 2 or 3 days. Or, I mean, we've done for an athletics marketing deal, I think we've turned around, like 500 t-shirts in 24 hours. So we can turn around stuff really quick. It's not ideal, but it's possible. So that's the kind of your screen printing embroidery world. Yes, Dee Dee.
I'm gonna say, do not do that to them. Just make sure you all are planning, right? Let's give them at least like a week and a half minimum.
Yeah. Week and a half that's beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the interesting, because what has to happen on that is just so process wise, once it's not just a week and a half is great, because you have to, even 2 weeks is good, because we have to settle on the artwork. So a lot of times the artwork that we're sent is not what is ultimately able to get approved. So if you wait until like 2 days before your event, then we still have to get approval on your artwork. And if there's changes that need to be made, then you start running into some real issues with that. So having a couple weeks heads up to where we start that process is the ideal situation. Because there's a lot of steps that need to occur in order for you to actually get the items delivered to you. So that's Sophie. Did I leave anything out?
I don't think so. I would just say when you're doing that, if you do have an item you're thinking about and you know a date you need it by, even if it's 2 weeks out, just include that in your original email, because it makes it so much easier for us to plan and add to our calendars. Like, make sure they get this by then, and just helps everything go really smoothly.
Yeah. And it's nice to have like the actual date, like, hey, we're going to hand them out at 2:00 on the 11th, so that we know internally, like, we need to get those to you by the 10th. Because the last thing that we want to do is just have something happen, or have artwork get delayed, or a t-shirt get stuck in transit, and then we don't know that it's a rush. And then you call us at, 11 a.m. and you're like, oh, my event's at noon. I need my shirts. And it's like, well, that would have been helpful information to know. So just the more information you can give us, the better. And that's a good segue into like the hard good part of what we do, which is like your pens, notebooks, name tags, business cards, notebook paper, notebooks, anything that you can think of, flags, all that type of stuff. Anything with your logo on it, we can help out with that. And if you have no idea, like, you want to not offer a nice gift to your exec board, and you're trying to figure out what that looks like, but you have like a $10 budget or whatever it might be, then the best case scenario for us is you letting us know what that budget is. Come to us and say, hey, I want a tech item. I need it to be $10 to $15, and I need to order 10 of them. Can you give me some options? And we can give you like 10 or 15 options there. We'll always do the best that we can to fit into your budget. So by telling us what your price range is, that's not going to make us like find you a $2 item and sell it to you for $12. It's like, that's not the point. The point is it's going to allow us to not show you $50 items and just show you $10 items. It just narrows it down, which is really helpful on our end and helpful on your end. It saves a bunch of time on the backside of everything that we're doing. And if another easy thing to do is if you see something you like. So if you find something on Amazon, you see something on Pinterest, you're just Googling or Facebooking or Instagramming or TikToking, and you see something you like and you get a screenshot of it, and you can send it to Sophie or myself and say, I want to do this item with the TC logo on it. Can you find that for me? That we can go out and source those types of things. You just got to let us know kind of what you're looking for. And the answer may be like, yeah, we can do it, but you have to order 1,000 of them. But we can do something like this. You only have to order 50 of them. And it's kind of similar to what you were thinking. So we can help you navigate that process a little bit. Just lean on us on any of those questions that you've got. Questions? No? You good? Claire, you're the only person I can see, so you got any? Speak up. I got you. All right. And Katie got a thumbs up. All right. I appreciate that. I don't even know how to do that. All right. So our end, one thing I'll jump into before I show you kind of how to set up for our account is getting approval on we will help navigate that process. That's part of what we do as a vendor and as a good vendor and partner for our organizations and really for anybody on campus is we have a good idea of what is it can get approved and not get approved. Ultimately, we're not going to be the ones. We can offer advice and then if you really want that idea, then we will send it over to Deanna, and Deanna will be the one that will be able to help you navigate how you adjust that around or how you make it work or if it actually will work. But we can help connect you with Deanna in the event that you've got some questions on it or you want to see just, what needs to be changed in it all. But the one thing is that with working with us, you're never going to have to worry about if you produce a shirt or if you produce something, if you're going to run into somebody on campus and they're going to get upset because it's not an approved mark or anything else like that. Like everything that we do gets approved because it's just as much your reputation with the campus as it is ours with the campus. Like we work with so many people on campus. If something we produced was not the correct marks, then that's not good for us as much as it's not, probably more so than it's not good for you guys. So we're really, really, really good about making sure that that's taken care of. And we can help you also. I mean, there's a system that goes through on approvals. But we also, I have Deanna's email and I can send her an email and just ask her like, hey, can you, before we get started or get too far down the road here, can you make sure that this would be something that it would eventually get approved? And she can kind of help us navigate that before we go get, 15 proofs and do all this work and realize that we can't do something like that. I think that's what I've got. And the one thing I say about HF, we're a small company. There's I think 14 of us now, so we've grown a little bit since we started. But we're a small company. We're Sophie and I are both TCU alums. We take a lot of pride in what we do. Take a lot of pride in helping out the student organizations, making sure that you can maximize your budgets and that you get everything that you want. At the end of the day, you're happy. If something goes wrong, we'll work with you to fix it. We're not just going to say, you approved that proof. Tough luck. We're going to do everything that we can to make sure that you're happy at the end of the day. Because on our end, it's more important to us that you're happy than and the next person that's in line in your organization, or you run into somebody on campus, or you get a job with the chancellor's office when you graduate, whatever it might be. We want you to be like, okay, someone talks to you about t-shirts. Like we want to be your guy. So, or your girl. We want to be your company that you turn to when you need something at your next group when you graduate. So that's all super important to us. And yeah. So with that, Sophie, did I leave anything out of the main?
No, I don't think so.
Things?
I think you got it.
Got it. Okay, cool. What I'm gonna do real quick here is I'm gonna share my screen. I don't Zoom as much as everybody else here. So if I mess this up, then I'm sorry. Let me let's see here. And I'm gonna bring it to our website to show you a little bit about, let's see here. Show you how to set up for our deal here. Okay, let's see. Oh, Dee, I'm struggling now. I got this. I'm gonna get it.
Have some music going on in the background.
I know. I need something going on here.
I didn't realize you just pressed the button that says share screen, the big green one. I thought you had to press the little arrow next to it. So I don't know.
Oh, so I was pressing the arrow. So I'm not doing that. So I just press that.
Press the big share screen button.
Share screen button.
It'll bring up all the applications you have open. Perfect.
Yeah. All
Oh,
right.
there you go. Yay.
Look at that. All right. There we go. Okay. So this is our website. Not really complicated. hfcustomsolutions.com. So what our website is we have a lot of different suppliers in our world, and they're from all over the country, all over the world. What our website, instead of having a website where a lot of promo companies will have every item that they can do under the sun, ours is the best products from our best suppliers. So instead of 100 pens or 1,000 pens, you're going to see 20 pens, or you're going to see, 20 drinkware items or ceramic mugs instead of all of the mugs that exist in the world. The idea behind it is it makes it more searchable on your end. You can, you're not going to be overwhelmed with options, and the options that you see, you're going to have confidence that, okay, these are items that they can produce in a good fashion and get them to us quickly. So let's see here. Close out all my other applications here. All right, so all you have to do to get signed up is there's a little login registration up here in the corner. You hit that. Type in your email address. Phone number. Address. Traffic lights. Oh man, okay, well, this is the first time I'm doing this, so this is well, anyways. So you can kind of see a little bit on so you'll get an email. That email is a fake account because my email is already set up in here. But so once you get that, you get it, you'd be able to sign back in to here. You just go to log in again, and through that you can so through our website, then I'm gonna stop sharing at this point. Let's see if I can. How do I stop sharing, Dee Dee?
Just click on stop share.
Oh, there it is down there. Got it.
And I was going to say, if you wanted to bring up my name, I don't know if that's helpful to show an example, but I don't have to.
Yeah, I should have worked through it a little bit more, and I'm now red and sweating. So, okay. Anyways, long story short, so you'll be able to log in and register there for an account. Once it'll send a confirmation email to your email address, and then once you log in, basically it's going to look the same, and you're able to go and look through different products. You can create a wish list of items that you're interested in looking at. You can even actually put all those items together and check out. So if you're looking at 100 pens and you find a pen that you like, you can type in the information, check out. You're not charged. There's nothing charged. You're not asked for any payment information. An email just gets sent to us and lets us know which items that you were looking at. And then we can reach back out to you and kind of solve or work through it and work through that order and get you the proper proofs and everything else that you need. So it's more of a resource. Really, if you have no idea what you're looking for, you can jump on there and check it out. The other thing that you're able to do is throughout the course of the year, you can log in and you can check the progress on your orders. So there's a little button on the top right-hand corner, kind of where this login register is, and you can see what items have been ordered. You can reorder items. You can check progress of your current orders and current items. So it's a great resource that's available to you. And it's a lot easier if we work through the process on the back end of it once you sign up. So make a note of it and get signed up, and then Sophie will reach out to you once we get an email notification each time a new person signs up. So we'll jump on and reach back out and kind of walk you through the process and make sure it's really simple and easy. So with that, I have no more information.
Yeah, does anyone have any questions?
Yeah.
For us?